Zen gonna be up versus Conan. Got himself attempted opener, but immediate human Rachel out of Conan just to make sure he can get a proper ramp up here for Zen. Could be pretty bad spot right now. Bladestorm, Blades, that's a lot of damage. Not burning a defensive evasion, a little late, but he gets Stealth Shock right after into a trinket. Advantage follow. And I feel like that might have been a situation where maybe just a cloak against the bleeds and just fade away would have been perfect. Got himself a bit of that first aid. I'm glad that you guys are utilizing first aid. Definitely use all the tools that are available in Arena. Hey, Blizzard lets you use it in Arena. You might as well use it. All of it is on the table. Conan get himself another go. What are you reflected versus a rogue? Is that it's gotta be weapon enchant, right? Zen is just locked down, can't really do much, and never even get to use their cooldowns. That is so unfortunate. That is a rough with Pearl. This time not as a holy threat, but honestly with Rance, that's how much they can heal for, especially a Herald of the Sun. Might as well be a holy paladin. Honestly, might just be a holy paladin. Got him to reflect, not reflecting the stun back at Pearl just yet. Reflected something. Yeah, but it's so weird to have a warrior reflect someone against a rogue. I'm just not used to it. Shield advantage for Pearl. Conan just gotta find a way to live. With the Dawn Light running on him, he won't really be able to ever catch himself a proper like breather for a second when healing. That is the biggest advantage of a Pearl with being a Herald of some paladin versus Conan. He needs to get that second win healing, but he can't with a constant perma dot, or almost like a perma dot that just does all the damage in the world. My God, it is a tough one for sure. Oh, with the shoulders, I like that set a lot. Wait, oh my God, he just came in, did some damage, sees Bop, leaps away. Welcome to the warrior gameplay, boys. You walk in, see a wall, walk away. What you can do about it. Got him some bit of parry. Pearl looking to escape, does get intercepted, stunned to reverse it back into Boeing as the wall falls off. Goes in for a trick and feared to follow, but he's already dotted and rotted. He won't be able to get himself any second when healing. He's got himself a bit of shielding, but only absorbs a portion of the damage, not full of it. So it's not like you can really catch up, not much recovery. While that Dawn Light is on ya. As soon as it's gone, hold on a second. If you could just buy himself some time, reflect, maybe it would be helpful. As long as you don't take damage to the health bar, giving him some recovery. Literally all you gotta do is run at that point. Literally, the warrior swap is like, whatever. Yeah, exactly. As a full sharper blade is out for Bonk, got himself a proper demolish, potentially big damage. This could give him the ramp up he needs. Full burst available. Pearl, is he not playing Wake of Ashes Wings? Is it like Crusader Wings? I think he's actually playing Crusade Wings. I don't think he's a Wake of... Or is he? I can't tell. I actually cannot tell. It doesn't look like he got wings from Wake of Ashes. Unless it was just a random proc. I'm not even sure anymore. It's so short lasting. I actually think it was just a random proc, wasn't it? Now I'm starting to think it was just a random proc. I'm not even sure. It's been so long since in Paladin press wings like normally. It's just so Wake of Ashes heavy right now. As there's a bubble out for Pearl. No more defenses, but Boinky doesn't have a lot to really live off of with a full wake. It's just done. It's just lights. I don't know how Warrior can win in that matchup whatsoever. Against a Paladin where you can just lay in hands. Bob, I think he's still holding on to lay in hands too, so might just have it ready for Chicago. But I really don't know. Previously, you would have Warriors and Paladins duel each other, and it was kind of as close to even as it can be, but I don't think there's a possibility to make it even. As Chicago got himself full burst versus Pearl, trying to see if you can ramp up, trying to go for Repent, will not be able to go for proper Repent. Shield advantage just to survive, wall to follow as well, able to blast out damage into that shield. It doesn't really do as much damage when it pops. Layer in hands last second, and Chicago is taking hits after hits. This is going to be just full dot gameplay for Pearl. Getting hit by Tempest back to back, that is a lot of damage he can't afford to be taken constantly. For Chicago, he just needs more Tempest procs and they'll be in a great spot. Got himself that voltaic burst, maybe a big lightning bolt around the corner, almost enough to take down Pearl. He's barely alive, barely hanging in, just trying to see if he can buy himself as much time as possible. Next stun, Wake of Ashes might be useful. Stun, Trinket, lasso before he can have a go. And Chicago goes in with a Storm Strike to take you out. That is rough, man. That is rough. So doing it, probably I just go play Pally yourself. Yeah, honestly, in a 1v1 against a Paladin, I really don't know what a warrior can do. I think at that point, maybe equalizing the equalizing the field might honestly be, like, if you're really trying to go for the wins, might honestly be the only answer. I feel like some classes sometimes like a super hard counter, and I feel like I've never seen Paladin and warrior be a harder counter than ever. You know what I mean? Like, when's the last time it's been this one-sided? Besides, I feel like every expansion of any class versus a rogue. You know what I mean? It's a rogue. Come on. Last one by Chicago. Able to lock down fairly, no blink or anything for this one. Sunder to follow. Do you have a stun? No stun totem. Doesn't have that combo. If you can pre-plan it ahead or move the totem last second, that also could be a play, right? Put it behind the pillar, place it on him last second, and hope that totem reapplies in the same spot right after. Try to zap out Fairlane from a distance, as Fairlane is the one having to back up out of there. Chicago's the melee class, so they get in so much range damage. Icebug by Fairlane, as they did have a touch of the magic onto Chicago, but playing him more defensive than anything right now. That's all he has to really do in this situation. And for Chicago, I don't really know if, like, I think it's just like, if you keep the same pressure, I think could probably sweep. He's got fadeaway to fight against a Smog. That'll be a tough one. Both of them are a hard matchup to face up against. First age, Fairlane, as long as you have a dot on you can't really. That's the hardest part about trying to get a bandage off in duels, is if you have a dot on you, it's over. Sunder, almost. Big Tempest into a Voltaic. Got a little bit of damage. Do the wolves just... the wolves is enough? I think they were just did 12s. Nova, they just ignore it. That is hilarious. Evocation, it's over. It's over. With Chicago, you should have a lot of Maelstrom banked up and ready, and Smog immediately running at you with a Shroud. Unless you can remove the Shroud little by little, Sleepwalk can't really stop it. Does try to go for a full go with a big deep breath. Locking out Chicago, does have a pre-wall for this burst. That is a full mastery burst and everything out for Smog. He's got all of it into a full ascendance, but Chicago forces Smog to back up out for a second. He cannot get interrupted for a moment. So for Chicago, it's a bit of a live angle right now. He just got to live. Smog able to get a lot of recovery with the Renewal Blades. 35% dampening does reduce it by quite a bit, but it's still able to stabilize and keep up. Big Tempest does get a kick. Smog goes in for a bit of that self-heal. Still got a little bit of that mastery burning for a second there into a root, as is going to be a lasso onto the dragon. Question is, how do you live this now? He got a bit of healing. Root around the corner, not helping. Big Tempest zapping you out. Can you live? Is there a win condition? I think if he Oppressive Roar, Deep Breath on Chicago, it doesn't matter. The Tempest just is a game changer. Tempest is an absolute game changer, man. Root onto fadeaway, immediately off of a Shadow Strike. Give Chicago a chance to breathe and zap out Fade from the Maelstrom from fighting Smog. You just need more Tempest procs. That's all you need. Kidney Shot? Kind of lagging, not in a great spot to be in. The Rogue just trying to have a proper go. Knocking the Rogue last second, maybe it'll do something. Deep, might have to go underground. Deep underground. Cloak of Shadows for fadeaway, taking lots of damage. That Tempest, that would have been so good, but a Cloak of Shadows was up when it was. Fadeaway does have an evasion. Could use that evasion actually, because he's a Deathstalker. There is a talent that allows evasion to actually give you some damage benefits from physical damage, or rather, evasion grants you magic damage reduction, while Cloak grants you some physical damage reduction. So you could use an evasion just against Tempest too. Like an extra layer of defense. Chicago trying to see if you can root down the Rogue. I don't know if you can move the totem. The Rogue does sweep with a Kidney Shot. You have a knock, but he has a step immediately ready for it. Expects it. As long as you expect it, there's not much you can really do. Full lockdown. Chicago's sitting at about half his health. Wall is going to help stabilize. Eventually the Rogue is down on cooldowns. Evasion's up for his fade. So it kind of denies you some of that Wind Fury damage. Storm Strike damage, blind to follow, just trying not to let you get any recovery. Trinket is a choice, could give Fade a chance to potentially make something happen here. Ascend is up, needs to see if he can send the Rogue to heaven. As he got himself Smoke Bomb, trying to buy himself a bit of time until Kidney Shot is back up and everything is available. Waiting for the yards, does get himself a kidney, but a defensive kidney more than anything. Isn't enough though. It's not enough, not yet. Chicago needs to find a way to root the Rogue out in the open. Does root him, caught a re-stealth either way though. He should know the Rogue is there. Into a sap, I mean, it just perfectly knows exactly where the Rogue is at this point, right? Perfectly knows exactly where the guy is at. No more Trinket for Chicago. No Trinket for the Rogue either, but he's got cooldowns, so that is terrifying. The fact that Rogue isn't dead and he's got cooldowns means there's always a chance. Shadow Blades, Flagellation, everything available. Best Chicago can do is maybe lasso the Rogue's opener if he goes in with the Shadow Strike. That's about all you can do. Immediate lasso, or if you can knock him out with a Root Totem. That's about all. That's about all. You have Burrow. I don't know. If the Rogue got everything lined up perfectly, it's brutal. It is brutal. Does get a lasso. That's about all you can do. Because Rogue needs to get the Shadow Strike to apply the mark. Cloak Shot is available for the Rogue. That's a Burrow. Rogue is in for Cloak with damage. That is not great. Into a stock up Sunder. Hold on a second. Knocking the Rogue back. It gives you no chance to breathe. The Rogue's opener was scuffed. Not much you can do in that situation. Vanish to get away from puppies. If you are Flame Shock, however, this should give Chicago maybe a chance to find you. You're not Flame Shocked, are you? No, you ain't. We see you there. We see those little toesies. Yeah, so Chicago's still in the rough spot. Trick coming up sometime sooner, though. Shadow Strike had to be done. Because if you go with a cheap shot, you're losing out on time. You need to get a Shadow Strike, get yourself a setup, then go for a kidney shot, then go for a full-on go. But that means you put yourself out in the open, potentially will get hit by a lasso. Unless you're like pre-cloaked or something. And that would be rough. Eyes he picked up, no sap, kidney shot, trinket out Chicago immediately, trinket for the rogue, got himself the big damage, potentially full ascent, everything is up, the rogue with a cloak, evasion's up, still physical damage goes right through, even if you evasion out on the run enough, it stops it, wolves are on you as long as they get a bite on you. Shadow Meld, do you have a dot though? No you don't. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What am I supposed to do? That is a good question. What are you supposed to do as a rogue? Yeah. Technically, Rogue does have damage, does have burst, right? Shadow Blade's coming up very, very soon. The fact that you're so low on health, though, does make it a little sketch, though. Does make it very, very sketch. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think... Yeah, perfect. This actually might be it. Shadow Strike into full kidney. That might be the play. Full burst available. Everything is up. I think at some point you just have to commit. I don't really know what else you can do as a rogue, but it's just like... Just the health. Yeah, that is rough. Chicago with 4. That was a tough one. I feel like as a rogue, there was a win condition of just bursting down the shaman, but everything needs to be up and you have to have enough crit and just commit. Just full on commit. That's all you got. That is tough though. Not saying it's easy. It is tough. You need to make sure everything is perfectly lines up and perfectly locked down. Literally anything you can do. I think it's a health angle.